Hey everybody! Well, today we're going to take a look at a cool little model that I found from a company called Mecrob, M-E-C-R-O-B. And it came in this really nice metal container. Now what it is it's this, if I can get no reflection on there, it's a little manta ray. Now I don't know if it lights up or what, or if it's just the way the picture is showing it on here, but it has kind of like this cool colored, like fins on here, and you can see that on there. And it has a stand, it looks like, as well. It came with the screwdriver, which is very nice. It comes with this cool little hex wrench. And then it also came with a set of needle nose pliers, which is really nice. And then it has this little bag. I'm not sure what this is for. Oh, you know what? This is actually a cleaning cloth. That's what that looks like. So when you open this up, you can see what's in here. All right, so it looks like we have... These are going to be the instructions, and the packaging is very interesting because it has, let's see if I can get this out of here. I think these bags are for no static, and I'm not sure what the parts are going to look like. You can see here, there's a lot of reflection. Let me see if I can get all these out of here so we can get a better look at all of these. But I just want to show you how this was all packaged. I'm not sure how many parts are in this set, and I've never built one of these before. But you know how I like these kinds of kits. Oh, these are the iridescent wings of the manta ray. So there we go. Okay, so let's get a better look at those. Okay, so here are all the parts, and there is a lot of parts here. So let's just kind of quickly go over these. So it looks like it's just random bits of hardware that they use. I've built a lot of these kits where it looks like they just take random bits of hardware and they just turn it into some kind of a sculpture, and somebody somehow figures out how to make this stuff into something really cool. I mean, there's random things like that. There's a level right there. I think that's interesting. These two little pieces, there's only one piece in each bag and they're clear. Some other random things here. I think this piece here is going to end up being the tail, or maybe it's that, I don't know. There's like a big piece of tubing right there. Very cool looking stuff. And then here's the base. It's got two iridescent pieces of acrylic. Look at the nice color on that. And then here are the wings, or the fins, which is also iridescent. So it looks like there's a lot of parts here, and it should be pretty fun to put together. Let's thumb through these instructions real quick. I just want to show you some stuff. That's the legend of all the parts. And they just kind of tell you some little hints here on how to make this go together a little bit easier. And then we start with step one. You can see how everything's all clearly labeled. And then we just start building the main spinal section of the manta ray. All the way up to this point, you start putting the skins on already. So it looks like there's a lot of parts that we get, but not as many parts when you're building it. But we'll see. It's got to be all there, I'm sure. Now, one thing I was a little puzzled by, so I found out there is, in fact, a light in there, because that's the battery compartment. So I think it's like a blue light. But the problem is it didn't come with batteries, and it doesn't say anywhere on here that I could find as to what batteries to use. I'm going to have to look closer in the instructions. I do have another one of these little lights that were left over from another metal kit that I put together. It's not quite as long as this, but I did test the batteries because it came with a bunch of spare batteries. It does work. It's a little fiddly, and it's a blue light that's in this, so it's really cool. But we'll see if we can make that work. But that's what it's going to look like when it's all done. It's really cool. All right, well, I guess I'll get started on it. Should be pretty fun, hopefully. Okay, so I've started working on this now. So before I forget, the batteries you're going to need for this is AG1LR621. AG1LR621. Now, as I mentioned, this kit does not come with those. Fortunately, I had these left over from another kit. They were extra, and it came with extra batteries as well, and those are the batteries that come with it. You are going to need 3 of them, so just to let you know. And then here is what I've got so far. This is cool. This is the little main body section. It's like almost like a little skeleton here. You can see how that looks. These clear tubes go through here like that. And when you're putting it together, you got to make sure everything lines up properly. Make sure you get these pieces all the same and all the right way, and make sure they're even on there too. And it's got this cool iridescent looking bolt here on the back, or whatever that is. Like I said, this is made of a bunch of random pieces. And then here's the cool wings, and then here's this piece. that must be the tail of it. And then it's cool when I mean, it's like, what the heck was this for originally? What was that little screen used for? You know, now they found a way to use it for this model. But yeah, now everything's going together pretty quick, and also a lot of these bags just have one piece in it, so at least you're not, it looks a little overwhelming when you first see all those parts, but you go through them pretty quick. As you can see here, I'm going through quite a few of them. So it goes together relatively decent, at least so far. All right, well, I guess I'll get back to work. All right, so I'm almost done now, and oh boy, this part here was a real bear to put together. There is a lot going on here, and it's one of these things where you are holding 3 or 4 things together while you're trying to screw it all together. You can see what I mean here with these layers right in here and over here. And you got to make sure you connect these. This bar that goes across, there's a really tiny wire. Let me see if I can see it. It's this thing going right across here. And then also the battery right here. So this is the light. And then the batteries are in there. And then this thing here is the switch, basically. You're going to slide this over, because it's one of those lights where when you tighten it, that's what turns it on. But you have to make sure you line that up the right way, because you have to screw this piece right here into the battery compartment. But you got to make sure you can turn this so that the light will turn on. So if you have it too far this way or too far that way, you're not going to be able to turn it far enough. So you have to figure out and line that up just right. They don't really say anything about that in the instructions. And there's several parts of this where I took it apart like I don't know how many times to redo it. So just keep an eye out for that one. But overall, this thing looks really cool. I really love it. So I'm almost done. All I got to do now is finish building the stand. I think that's all that's left. So hopefully I'll be done pretty soon. You'll have a few pieces left over right here, you can see. So there's some spares on some of this. And there's also some stickers here that they suggest that you put on here at the end. But I'm gonna just forget about that. I don't really want stickers on this. All right, here it is all finished now. This is very cool. Love the way this looks. You can see the iridescent colors that are all over this thing, including the stand down here. In fact, that's really cool. It almost looks like it's one of those infinity lights, just the way the light's hitting it. But you can see the beauty of this thing. I love all the iridescent colors going on in this. The plastic that they used. You can see the inside. Now, without the bright lights on, it's a little bit difficult to see in there, and I'll get a close-up, but you can see like the skeleton and stuff. And I kind of wish that it was a little bit lighter so that in regular light, you can see inside there better. But overall, I think this looks really cool. It looks kind of like a robotic manta ray. In front of this, you can kind of see where that iridescent bolt or whatever that piece was in there kind of acts like the mouth. You can see how all the hardware puts this together. There's the top of that. That looks so cool in there. You can kind of see all the neat little ribbing. That's the whole first part of this that you build. But see how it's kind of dark, and this is even with bright lights. I kind of wish this was almost kind of clear with just a little bit of iridescence, so you can kind of see more inside there. But overall, you know, I do like the way this looks. It's very cool. So as I said, I did struggle a little bit on this back section, but everything else went together pretty good, and it doesn't take that long to put it together, surprisingly. But I think it's cool. I've never seen anything like this before, and I just thought it was really kind of a neat looking thing. On the bottom of this, I want to show you how you turn the lights on. So this is where that light is, right back here. Now you got this little knob right here. When you turn this, you turn it this way, and that's what's actually tightening the lid on here so that it puts pressure on there so that it makes battery contact, but you have to kind of really push it down. And I'll show you what I mean, but it's probably on right now, but the lights are drowning it out. So let me show you in the dark. So here's what it looks like. It's very, very cool when it's lit up. Now in person it has a little more of a green hue to it. The camera is kind of making it look more blue. Like this whole area right in here is actually more of a greenish color. But it's very cool once it's lit up. It really brings out that interior, and maybe that's why they decided to make the inside this shell darker. You can also adjust this tail. You can make it bent in whatever way that you want, but it's very neat. I think it looks awesome. Let me turn off the main lights. Let's see what that looks like. Ooh, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's neat. So it's still looking a little blue in the center right here. It's more of a green color. So that bubble, that level bubble piece, that's actually the center right here. You can see the bubble right there. And so that light shines directly into that. So it makes this cool cylinder, and then it kind of spreads the light out. So it's a clever use of that piece. It's like a, you know, the kind of things that people use for leveling out countertops or whatever. It's like a small version of it. But what a neat way to make the light go through. It acts like the spine of it. This looks really neat in here. There's a lot of great detail. It's very cool. Oh man, I love the way that looks. Yeah, it's kind of like a, I don't know, I can't even explain it. It doesn't give off a lot of light. You know, it's not meant to be like a table lamp or anything, but it sure looks cool. It kind of looks like one of those deep sea creatures that sometimes has that, what is it called? Electroluminescence or something like that. But it's very neat. Ah, I love it. Here's an overhead view of it, so you can really see in there. So see, there's that level right there in the middle. And there's that screen down there at the bottom. So it's cool. I mean, once you get this made, you start to understand why you built all this stuff. You can kind of see that clear tubing that goes in there. They make you kind of make it stick out a little bit, and that's cool. I mean, you know, you'd think that it would go right up against the body, but having it stick out like that just kind of gives it like more definition. And I love this thing. It looks really cool. It's, I don't know, I can't even explain it. It's like otherworldly. Ah, so cool. So I paid $45 for this. It's how much it was on the Mecrob website. I'll put a link in the description if you're interested in building this. It is a little bit challenging in some parts, but overall it went together pretty well. I will say that when it comes time to change the battery for this light though, it's going to be kind of a hassle because you're going to have to unscrew, let me see if I can get it from this side. You're going to have to unscrew this screw, and when you do, you're going to have to remember the order of which all these pieces went in there. Because there's like layers of washers and stuff like that. And it screws into the battery right there. It's like a little handled thing right there. And then once again, you're gonna have to make sure you arrange this properly, because see, when you turn this, let me see if I can do this, get a grip of this. When you turn this, if I can get a grip of it, well, maybe, there we go. That's what turns it off. So it's, you're tightening this lid. And then when you turn this, you have to kind of bend it further than what's allowed over here. It's just kind of hard. It's kind of an awkward setup for the lighting. So when you turn it back on, you almost have to kind of hold on to this part while turning this, and that way you can kind of get it to turn a little bit more, because that little bar down there is going to be in the way. So if you can turn it, then you can get it to come back on like that. Like I said, it's not the best setup for lighting, but it's, I mean, I appreciate the fact that they wanted to put a light in there. But I don't know, it's pretty cool. It's just unique and unusual. Makes a neat little sculpture. But yeah, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons. I'd very much appreciate it. And in the meantime, I will see you on the next video. So thank you so much for watching, and have a good one.